Hi, Kai Jacobson here. You've heard a lot about alkalinity and how important that is, and it's a very, very important feature in what we do with the alkaline water. But one of the other really important things that we do is something called ORP, ORP. It's kind of a weird sounding thing. It actually means oxygen reduction potential. And what does that really mean? I mean, it's kind of a strange thing, and to hear that word and the definition, but what does that really mean to your health, and how does it affect your body, and specifically what does that really mean? I'd like to explain that in this section. It's, in my opinion, the most important thing that our product, the Athena and the Delphi, do for you personally. So please pay attention really closely and see if I can maybe communicate clearly what ORP really means to you on a personal level. There's two features to that and how it affects our bodies and how the benefits are for us. The first one I'd like to talk to is something about antioxidants. And one of the processes that happens as we age and as things break down just in the nature of the universe is something called oxidation. And it's a process that happens to all physical matter. It's what makes a nail rust. It's what makes an apple turn brown when you take a bite out of it, when it gets oxidized. It's the way sunlight can break down your skin cells. It's the way that chemicals, when they come in contact with your body or when you ingest them, start breaking down your cells. It's all the process of breaking down matter. And in terms of living matter, that's breaking down your cells. What happens on a physical plane when you get into the chemistry and the biology and the physics of it is that basically electrons are being stolen from your body. That's the process of breaking down, of oxidation. It's when an agent comes in contact with you and it steals electrons from your cells, and in so doing so deteriorates the quality of the cell to such a point when it loses its definition and ages, or breaks down. It's what causes wrinkles or drying out of the skin and aging and deterioration, and it's when disease can set in when too much breaking down of the cells happen. What's amazing about this water is when you get that negative ORP, when you put that meter in there, the ORP meter, the oxygen reduction potential, and you're looking to get negative readings, like normal tap water where I live, it's about positive 350. Most bottled water is about positive 50. Well, when you get the negative ions in the water, like a negative 350, which is pretty much what I get with my unit on my water. Sometimes it goes as high as negative 547. I've seen it go that high too, depending on the mineralization that's happening in the day that the water is coming out of my spout. What that means is you've got billions of negative electrons floating around in this water. And it only lasts for about 48 hours. It's about a half-life of 24 hours, and about 48 hours most of that charge is gone. But certainly by 3 days it's all gone. That's why no bottled water, no matter how alkaline the water is, has any of this ORP, negative charge to it. It just dissipates. It's basically almost the living quality of the water. It's like having carrot juice that's fresh out of a juicer as opposed to 3 days old, or wheatgrass juice that you have fresh after you've just, juiced the wheatgrass. It's very different 3 days later. It's the same with this water. When it goes through this process of ionization, it has this negative charge, which you can read with a meter, which is called ORP. And when you read that, what it means is that those electrons, by the billions, are now available more readily than the ones in your body, and they give themselves up freely to all these agents that oxidize you and deteriorate and break down your cells. And it's the most powerful antioxidant that you can get, or free radical damage is another name for that same process. And it by being a decoy, in the sense of it more readily takes these electrons from the water that are available than from your cells, which are a little less available, but available if nothing else is there. And in a sense, it's like a protector, a big protector that in the billions, on the levels of billions, per ounce of water that goes into your body, you have all these little amazing protectors that are giving up their electrons more freely than your body does, and therefore your cells don't break down nearly as much. It's an amazing process. That's square number one, the antioxidant quality. The second thing of redox, which is another name for, by the way, ORP, is when you start looking at the body, You know what, I'm going to do this in two sections. There's going to be a second section on this. Let's just finish with this. We'll do a second section called ORP in terms of redox and how that, the charge in your body, because what that is, just to make an allusion to it, but we'll get more into detail in the second section. It's about what kind of staying power, the cranking power in the battery. Like, you know, an analogy you could make is volts would be comparable to pH, which is what your pH reading is, and the amps in a battery, which is the cranking power. How many amps are left in that battery can crank over that motor? How many times? Not just the one-time charge on it, but, you know, how many times can that keep cranking? That's what redox is when you measure it in the body. And that's a very powerful thing when you start building up redox in the body, because that's your staying power. That's the longevity of your ability to hold your alkalinity, not just a momentary reading on the alkalinity. So we'll go into that in detail on the next phase. Thanks very much.